the same thing every day. I'm just a sad boy, a loner. What's the point of all of this? What's the point of life? Just doesn't make sense. Heartbreak, suffering, things people go through, yet they don't talk about it. All of us humans, we've been through heart wrenching moments that make us tougher, but it also eats away at our emotions. It makes us doubt ourselves, have anxiety, suffering, like PTSD or something. I guess that's just what God wanted in the end, huh? I mean, I might die now. I don't know. Fake friends, a distant family. As Deku would look around, it doesn't matter here after all. I'm nowhere. I'm nobody. I'm nothing. I guess I can be at peace with myself and this world if I could just tell her how I feel. If I could tell her how I feel, I'd be able to sleep at night. I feel like I could move on. I wouldn't have to stay trapped to this world. Yet I'm binded, all by emotion. Emotion won't let me move on. I just want to go to heaven. So why? As Deku would turn around. Why am I still here? Well, Izuku, that was a pretty interesting little story, but you're still gonna have to go back down there and confess. Sorry. Wait, I have to confess? Confess what? Um, you'll have to confess your pains, basically. Or at least that's what God told me to tell you. As the young person would look at their clipboard, his deck would say, God's the one doing this to me. As the boy would say, well, yes, kind of. He doesn't want your soul to be corrupted as you go into heaven. So he kind of wants you to confess everything on earth and have no doubts about life. Doubts, huh? It's his fault I'm having doubts in the first place. That bastard. He was the one who made life this way. And yet he wants me to, in a way, repent. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. There's no point I'm doing. There's literally no point in me doing that. I see. No, no. It all makes sense now. That's why. That's why the world is what it is. He wants to see our pain. He wants to see what it would feel like to suffer. He wants us to go through all of the things that he's too cowardly to go through. God, up there on your high horse and so many privileges. Doing anything you want. Having all of the power in the world. While I'm down here struggling just to survive. Trying not to kill myself at every given moment. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy how a person could be so cruel as to watch another human being suffer and knowing they have the power to do something about it? They do nothing. As the angel would, or yeah, I guess it'll be an angel. It would look at Izuku, as the angel would say, yeah, I guess, but are you ready to go? Cause I'm really trying to get back up to heaven. I'm trying to see my family. So, yeah, whatever. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna be giving you some abilities, but you're gonna have to use them to fulfill your goal of sorts. Goal. What do I have to do? You have to find a lover and confess your pain. Once you do that, you can live your life freely. And well, at that rate, you'll be given a cell phone. A cell phone that will allow you to choose your own power. You'll get 5 abilities, so choose wisely. But you can pretty much choose anything. So, live a happy life. Do what you need to do. And come find me one day. I'd like to see how you progressed. That is if you go to heaven. But I'm pretty sure you will. As the angel would smile at Deku. As Deku would smile back a little bit. As the angel would then tap Izuku's head. He would fall. Far from the sky. He'd be looking up. At the clear blue sky. That seemed so peaceful. It seemed like it couldn't hurt him. It felt like everything was okay. But it wasn't. He knew that it wasn't okay. He knew that he was going to have to go through all of the pain that he went through originally. But I guess that's humanity for you. Always looking at the negative aspects of things. But I guess that's all we can do. Because you have to be privileged to look at the positive aspects. People always say, why are you being so down or negative? It's not so much as I'm being negative, as Deku would still be looking at the sky. It's that I'm just realizing the truth. The truth that you failed to understand. You make what you are. Things will try to stop you. Make you doubt yourself. Make you think that there was never really a point. Just like she did to me. All those years ago. As we would go into a flashback. Izuku is with a girl. Yeah, bitches are, the source of all pain. Unless you don't count money. Bitches and money. Could be a good thing, but, brings a lot of pain. A lot of pain. But, yeah. So, Deku's with a girl. They're at a pretty expensive restaurant. And they're eating and chatting about some random shit. But Izuku can feel that something isn't right. His heart's throbbing. He can feel all types of pain just by the way that she's talking to him. Deku's been through a lot, but he doesn't know if he's gonna recover from what she's about to tell him. Deku, well, the girl would look at him as she'd say, Izuku, you're a nice boy, and I really liked you. I truly, really did. But there's this guy, and he swept me off my feet. I'm in love with him. Actually, he's right behind you. As Deku's eyes would widen, as he'd look back, as he'd think to himself, she was planning this? What was the point in me taking her here? If she was just gonna dump me? Deku's heart would begin to crack and crinkle. That bitch. She said she loved me. And I believed her. I believed her. As Deku would look up at the guy, he kind of be starting to get angry. But the guy, well, he looked strong, but Deku wasn't in his right mind. He was heartbroken. So Deku says, You're the bastard. You're the bastard that's trying to take my girl away from me. She's the only person I love. Family, friends, screw all of them. I loved her. Yet you're trying to take that away from me. As Izuku would grab a knife, he would stand up and try to stab the man. But this wouldn't work out in Izuku's favor. Everybody would see this and they would say, a villain! It's a villain! As the guy would have an enhancement quirk, and Deku couldn't do anything because his quirk was useless. He had a healing quirk, a weak healing quirk at that. He could only be a nurse or a field doctor. A field nurse at that. Shit, I don't know what he would do. But that was his quirk, and so Deku couldn't stop the punch that was coming to his fucking throat. Yeah, throats are just like, I don't know, they're just like a preferable thing for me to choose. I don't know why, but yeah. The man would punch Deku in the throat as his fist would go completely through Izuku's throat. As Deku would look at the man as he'd be smiling, saying, You damn villain. As Deku would look back at the girl, tears in his now lifeless eyes. Deku, 5 years. I was codependent. A codependent 19-year-old. Now that she's not with me, guess life doesn't matter anymore. As Deku would close his eyes and accept death. Deku, would now be at his, he would now be with the angel, and everything would play out the same as the flashback would end. As Deku would still be falling out of the sky, as he'd be thinking to himself, I wonder, do all humans go through this? Do all humans know the same pain that I know? The pain of heartbreak, suffering. Do all humans always have anxiety? Do they think they're not enough? Do they think that they'll fuck up every other sentence that they say when they're around somebody that they actually like? Do they think they're not good enough for that person? Do they think that drugs would help them cope with all the things that they're going through? Is this what life is? One big heartache? Is this what God wanted me to realize? Did he want me to realize that life is pain? It's meaningless. It doesn't matter. Love, it flies away. 1 second you could love a really good person. The next moment they break your heart and stomp on it in the most cruelest way possible. As Deku could see the ground coming near him, as he'd look down and say, I guess it's that time, huh? His eyes would close. His body hitting the floor. As his eyes would open back up, his Deku would be in a new place with, why not? Let's make him, okay, why the fuck not? Deku would reopen his eyes with a woman holding him. She would be holding him and another, baby. Izuku would look like this, by the way. Alrighty, I'm back. But yes, Izuku would look like, the two you see on the screen here. He would be born with white hair, a red and a blue eye. His Deku, once he came out, he wouldn't cry. He would just look around, as if he'd been here before. As if this world didn't faze him. As if he's been through pain. Pain that nobody would ever be able to go through. So the doctors, they would see Izuku, and they would kind of label him as the odd child. But the other child that, well, Rei Todoroki was holding would have red and white hair. But his eyes, I believe, well, they'd just be blue. I think they were blue. I don't fucking know. But yeah, he'd have blue eyes, I believe, and red and white hair. Is he would be an active child, small and happy. Is the doctors would label him as well. Mm, well, fuck, Rousey baby. But the two children would actually be polar opposites. See, Izuku, he was the reincarnation of a boy that had been heartbroken and had known what actual pain was already. So there wasn't a lot that could face him. But you see, Shoto, well, and that's the other baby's name, well, he would be, well, a regular child. Is he would still be fragile and wouldn't know a lot about the world. But, well, that would soon change because, well, y'all know how Endeavor bitch ass is. Yeah, fuck Endeavor. Yeah, yeah, all that good shit. But, yeah. So, Rei would take, well, Izuku and Todoroki home, saying that that's, well, what she named them, Izuku and Todoroki. Or, fuck, Izuku and Shoto. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me get that shit back. Is, we now go to Endeavor. Looking out of the window, he would be thinking to himself, that bitch. She better have given me some strong children. As this would be when Rei would walk through the door, as Izuku and, well, Shoto would be seen by Endeavor, who would instantly run up to them as he'd say, so these are our children. As he would look at Izuku, who would have cold eyes, as if he didn't care for life. As this would make Endeavor smile, seeing that this boy could be trained to be something more than just a hero, so to say. But then he would look at Shoto, who would be happy, smiling, and rousy. This would also make him a little happy, seeing that, well, Shoto was a normal baby, unlike Izuku. But he knew that Shoto wouldn't have as much potential as Izuku. And so now we're going to have a 4-year time skip. And ever since Deku was 2, well, he'd already know that he'd have abilities, saying that the angel said he would give him a few. Deku's first ability, I'm gonna let y'all choose his second one, but I'm gonna give it a specified limit. It has to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Creative. I want something really creative for his second power. He'll get 3 powers in total, but his second power is more of like a sub ability. I want it to be creative. If you guys could come up with I know y'all could do it. Like, y'all are some creative ass little people. Or big people. Why did I say little? I'm a fucking idiot. But, yeah. Come up with something creative. And, yeah. That'll be his second power. But Izuku's first power would surround his eyes. His red eye would allow him to control... I'll give him fire since he's the child of Endeavor, why not? But his blue eye would allow him to control electricity. Fire and electricity would be Izuku's quirks. Is his third power would also be surrounding, well, shit, his eyes. But this would be a sub ability. Like, an ability that would. It would be an ability that would come from, well, him using fire and lightning. So, this ability would allow Deku to slow down time to an extent. To an extent. It's basically, Izuku can slow down time for like a smooth 10 to 20 seconds, but the drawback on this is if he does this, well, his eyes will start to bleed on some Mangenkyo Sharingan type shit. And because I'm so fucked up, yes, Izuku will have to snatch a pair of eyes if he doesn't want to go blind. So, yeah, look forward to that. Yeah, this nigga finna snatch the fuck out of somebody's eyes in like the most smoothest fashion. But, yeah, and once he does that, he'll get like another sub ability on some Sharingan type shit. But, yeah. Izuku's powers would be, well, as I just stated, and, well, Endeavor would like this. He would think that this boy would be a good candidate to, well, surpass All Might. Is for Shoto, well, wouldn't really be showing signs yet, but Endeavor wasn't worried because he was only a 2-year-old, and he knew that Izuku was more advanced. Because, well, shit, Izuku already knew it. Fucking life is. He already knew the meaning of life. Like, Jit was not playing. Izuku came into life ready to fulfill his fucking duties and die. That's his whole reason for even being here in the first place. He knows that the angel won't allow him to kill himself or anything like that, so he might as well just complete his duties. Well, since Izuku was 2 and he had unlocked his power and learned to walk, his father had been training him on controlling his power. And when Izuku turned 4, Shoto was taken to the quirk doctor, and he was known to have control over fire and ice. Yes, fire and ice. And by the way, Izuku and Shoto were thick as thieves. They love each other with like every bone in their fucking body. And Izuku would never allow anybody to hurt his younger brother, including his father. Like Deku's on some different shit. Like he will cock back and sling this nigga Endeavor before he could even think about touching Shoto or like injuring this nigga. If it wasn't for training or something like that. But yeah. So Izuku would have started his training 2 years earlier, which would have made him more advanced than Shoto. But Shoto would have still been like practicing like push-ups, sit-ups, all of that good stuff. So he'd be a bit strong as well. But once they both turned 4 and Shoto got his quirk, this is where the real training began. We now go to Izuku. It's 5 a.m. Him and Shoto were sleeping in the same bed. And if you have a dirty mind, then you're a fucking weirdo. Nah, I can't even say that. Like, I can't even say that, but cause like, it's not like I'm a pervert or anything. Yeah, it's not like I'm a pervert. Yeah, yeah. What? I'm fucking stupid, Jit. But yeah, I can't really say anybody else has a dirty mind because I have a dirty mind myself and a dark mind. I'm stupid. Yes, I am. But let's continue this lovely story, shall we? As well, it would be 5 a.m. as Izuku would be sleeping in the same bed as Shoto. As when they woke up, well, they would see their father sitting in a chair just staring at them on some demonic type shit. Is Shoto would be a little creeped out, but Izuku, well, this nigga would not be phased. Is He would see his father like smiling creepily on some Evil Dead talk type shit. Is Deku wasn't having that. He immediately shocked the fuck out of this nigga, making Endeavor wake up out of his little trance. His Endeavor would say, damn it, what happened? As Izuku would just say, I guess you were just zoning out or something. So I shocked you. You were scaring Shoto. As Izuku would look over and smile at Shoto. As Endeavor would say, oh, alright then. Well then. Since you guys are awake, I guess we can begin the training. As he would grab Izuku and Shoto by the arm, as he would drag them to the localist mountain. He would get 2 huge ass boulders. As he'd say, alright, your first bit of training for, well, today will be to destroy these boulders. And when I say destroy, I want them burned to a crisp. You want them burned to crisps. You want 2 4-year-olds to burn 2 rocks to crisps. Seems kind of dangerous, but alright. This would be what Izuku basically just said to Endeavor. Is Endeavor would, well, kind of think Izuku is rebellious, so he'd low-key be abusing this nigga. Each time Izuku would talk back to him on some silly shit, he would hit this nigga with a bamboo stick. Yes, a bamboo stick. Just because. Don't ask why. It's just because. But yeah, he would hit Izuku with his bamboo stick. It would virtually absolutely do nothing to him. Cause like, do you know who he is? Does he know who he is? No, what? Never mind. But yeah, this would do nothing to Izuku, as Izuku would just say, huh, it's crazy. You like taking your frustration out on 4-year-old boys. As Shoto would smile and kind of laugh at this. This would piss off Endeavor, as he would go to swing on Shoto with this bamboo stick. But yeah, Izuku, yeah, he wasn't having that. He would immediately zap the fuck out of that bitch and set it on fire. At the same time that it was about to hit Shoto, that shit disintegrated. That bitch was gone. As Shoto would say, thanks. His Deku would say, don't mind it. Just trying to keep the world safe from bastards like him. Is as Endeavor would grit his teeth and he'd say, you know what? Damn it all. Just destroy the damn rocks before sunrise or it'll be hell to pay. As this would kind of send a shiver down Shoto's back, but Izuku would say, don't worry about it. He's just a bastard. That's virtually all he is. It'll be fine. Just try to destroy your rock, alright? As Izuku, within the next 2 minutes, would hit his rock with such a powerful blast of fire that, well, the fire would turn blue, signifying that it was well, it wasn't as hot as it can get, because I'm already going to give him another form of it. Deku's only getting one more form of fire. Yeah. I'll give him a fire that... Ooh, shit. That would hurt. That would hurt like a bitch. No, wait, yeah, he'll get that form. He'll get that form. Yeah, y'all will know later. But, yeah. Izuku would burn his rock to a crisp using, a blue fire, which would signify that it was as hot as it could get for that moment. Is once he did this, Shoto would be in awe because, well, Deku just disintegrated a fucking rock. Is Deku would say, Easy. And Shadow would say, wow, big brother, could you teach me? As Izuku would say, no problem. As Deku would say, just think about, hmm, think about the rock. Think about the rock disappearing. And at the same time as you do this, I want you to shoot out a fire blast. But you still have to think about the rock disappearing, alright? As Shadow would say, alright, I'll try. I don't really think that'll do much. As Shadow would think, as he would envision the rock being burnt to a crisp and disappearing. As he would then shoot a fire blast that would be extremely hot, as it would engulf the fucking boulder, but it wouldn't be blue fire because like he's not on that level yet, but he's getting there. Jit's getting there. And by the way, yeah, Izuku's gonna use that fire pretty soon, but that doesn't matter right now. He's gonna use a different type of fire pretty soon, pretty soon. But yeah, Izuku would well, he would congratulate his brother on burning the rock to an absolute crisp, as Shadow would say, thanks, big brother. I didn't think I could do it. As Deku would say, it's no problem. Shadow would say, yeah, you're really amazing. Strong, too. You don't care about what Dad says. Nah, it's not like he can phase me or anything. He's just the same weak bastard that he's always been. As Izuku and Shoto would sit down as they would have, well, a pretty long conversation until their father came back. It would be about how their mother was being distant now. Because, well, she saw them as Endeavor, an abusive monster. That's what she saw them as. Two children that were just the children of an abusive monster. So she thought they would grow up to be no good. This would eventually lead to, well, problems in the future, but that doesn't matter right now. So, Izuku would be well, sitting down with Shoto as Endeavor would come back at sunrise, as he could see Izuku and Shoto sleeping together. Pause. As they would look peaceful, so, well, he would get 2 buckets of water and splash them on their faces. Izuku would wake up before fucking Endeavor could even pour the water on his head, but Shoto would get drenched. R.I.P. Shoto. But yeah, they would both get up as Endeavor would say, good. You guys actually managed to destroy the rocks. Izuku, I didn't have any doubt in you, but your brother, seems that he's doing good. As Shoto would just give a smile, as Endeavor would say, alright, time for the next phase. As Izuku would just, well, have a bland face, saying that he doesn't really care. He's only taking this training just so he can literally get done with all of this and find a lovely girl that he can sit down and have a child with and actually love. That's all Deku's worried about. His brother, he's only worried about his brother and finding a girl that he could love. That's literally all he's worried about. But yeah. Their next phase of training would be running 5 miles in under 10 minutes. No, they're 4-year-olds in under 20 minutes. 5 miles, 20 minutes. That's difficult for 4-year-olds to do. Yep, that seems like something that bastard would say. So yeah. He would basically get a stopwatch as he would begin timing them. As Izuku, seeing that he had the power of electricity, would help out him and his brother. He would tap Shoto on the head as he would wink at him, as Shoto would just smile, not knowing what Izuku was really winking about. But when they both started running, they would run down the mountain and then back up in like 5 minutes. And the mile would be 5 miles down, and back up would be 10 miles. So they just doubled that bitch in 5 minutes. As Endeavor would he would be pretty astounded by this, as he'd say, "Huh, these kids are something different." But he would he would know that Deku cheated. He'd know this because, well, when Todoroki or Shoto came back up, he would see electric sparks starting to fade off of him. As well, he would grab that bamboo stick, as he'd say, "You damn cheaters," as he would hit Shoto upside the head with the bamboo stick, as he would hit him kind of hard. Like, this nigga would actually try to crack his shit. As this would work, as Shoto's head would start bleeding, as he would fall to the ground and pass out. This nigga Izuku was not having it. Both of Izuku's eyes, they would start to glow up more and more until, well, he lost consciousness. Jit legitly lost consciousness. Like, he was so angry that he lost all control. He didn't even know what happened. But after he woke up, he would see Endeavor's body covered in scars, bruises, and blood. He would see that he had multiple broken bones and his nose was completely damn near severed from his body. As Izuku would say, "What happened?" As he would see Izuku, Izuku's body would be fine. He would see Shoto's body, well, just laying on the ground. Shoto would slowly be regaining consciousness. As Izuku would run over to Shoto and cover his eyes and say, I'm gonna need you to go back home, alright? I have something to deal with." And Shoto would say, alright. Whatever you say, big bro. As he would take off down the mountain. As he'd make it home and he'd see Ray, who was preparing supper. As, Ray would fix him up as they would have supper right then and there. But we would now go back to Izuku, who was patching up Endeavor, who was pretty badly beaten by this nigga Izuku. He was basically on some Zenitsu type shit. This nigga goes to sleep, you're pretty much fucked. In the ass. Hard. Yeah. That sounded kind of gay, but you get the reference. So, Izuku would, patch Endeavor up, take him to a hospital, and, well, this would be their first day of school. Why not? So, well, they'd go to school after eating supper, dinner, breakfast. I'll say that Ray made breakfast. Ray made breakfast for them to eat. Yep. So they would go to school after breakfast, and, well, this would be their first day, but their children had already been in that school for, like, at least a month or two now. So they were pretty situated and they knew their way around things. So when Izuku and, Todoroki, fuck it, I'm calling him Todoroki for, like, the rest of the fucking whatever. I'm not gonna struggle with this no more. I rebuke that in the name of the Lord. But, yeah. Todoroki and Izuku would go into their respective classrooms as Izuku would sit down next to a dirty blonde-headed boy as Deku would look at him as he could see that this boy was low-key feeling himself because he just got his quirk and he felt like he was on top of the world. Izuku wouldn't want to ruin this or anything, so he would just leave him be, as Deku would think to himself. How naive. Children are weak and lame. Why am I here? As Deku would just look around as he could see all of these children just doing dumb things. As he could see Shoto just sitting down, because, well, Shoto wasn't really a socially active person, much like Izuku, because, well, of their fucking father. Their father fucked them over. Or, well, he at least fucked Shoto over. Izuku wasn't going to be a socially active person, even if Endeavor was good to them. But, yeah. Izuku would, get up from where the dirty blonde-headed boy was, stunning, and, he would walk over to his brother. A few moments later, that same dirty blonde-headed boy would walk over to the two, as he would have at least 5 other kids surrounding him. As the blonde would say, "I'm Bakugo, and my quirk is explosions. You guys look kind of weak, if I do say so myself. And if you guys have quirks, they're probably not as awesome as mine." As Izuku wouldn't even say anything, because, well, he's not immature, but seeing that Shoto, well, is a 4-year-old, he would snap back saying, "Shut up! I bet me and my brother could take you guys easily." As Izuku would say, "Oh my god, Shoto, shut up, please. No, I don't have the energy for this today." As Bakugo would say, "You think so? You think you could just talk to me like that and get away with it?" As a few small explosions would be exploding from Bakugo's hands, as all of the children would be in awe at this, seeing that it was kind of cool, I guess. But, yeah. Bakugo would rush at Izuku, of all people, who was not having this under no circumstance. Izuku was not in the mood today for anything. So, yeah. Once Bakugo basically tried to throw his signature, right hook at Izuku, he would grab his hand and slam his head into the table. And, to knock him out, well, Izuku would send a pulse of electricity through his skull, which would damn near just, and I do mean just, miss giving him brain damage. And, well, this would just knock him out, as Izuku would lift up Bakugo and throw him across the classroom and say, "Did you guys see what I did to your leader?" As the goons would shake their head, as Izuku would say, "Alright then, get the fuck out of here before I drop y'all." As all the goons would run away screaming and shit, as the teacher would then come in and say, take your seats. It seems we have 2 new students today." As Izuku and Todoroki would stand up. Sorry. As the teacher would then say, "Izuku Todoroki and Shoto Todoroki." As they would both bow, she would say, "Are you two by chance the number 2 hero's sons?" As Izuku would be the one to say, yes, we are." As all the girls in the classroom would hear this, as they would start murmuring, as they'd say, they're Endeavor's sons. Wait, that means they're gonna grow up to be great heroes, possibly even the number 1 and number 2. As Shadow would be smiling at this, because he kind of liked the attention, because, well, nobody else ever gave him any, other than Izuku, but they were all they had. Izuku would still have his signature bland face, not giving a damn as usual, as he would look at Todoroki, as he'd say, "Alright, bro, I think we should sit down, because, well, these girls are kind of giving us weird looks like they want to rape us or something." As Todoroki would say, "Yeah, you're right. As they would sit down, as the class would continue and eventually end, as Deku and Todoroki would walk outside, saying that their father was about to come get them. But before they could leave, Bakugo, yeah, he wasn't too happy about that. His ego, it was hurt pretty badly. And at this point, Endeavor had already pulled up, but he was just sitting in the car waiting and watching. Izuku hadn't noticed him. Not yet, of course. But yeah. Izuku, well, he was just trying to leave, and Bakugo wasn't letting him leave. Shoto, well, he wanted to fight, but Izuku, it was just like, there's no point. But yeah. Then Bakugo and his goons rushed him, and Izuku slowed down time on all of their bodies and said, Shoto, please handle my lightweight. As Shoto would instantly form, I'm giving him, oh yeah, by the way, yeah. I'm giving him ice creation. I'm giving Shoto ice creation. Yeah. He'll have ice creation and fire creation. Same as Izuku, he'll have fire creation and lightning creation. But yeah. This would be a technique that Shoto would pick up from Izuku, saying that he would like the way that Izuku would utilize his electricity to bend to his will, so he would ask Izuku to train him in creating things using his ice. And so Izuku would agree to this, and this would be the result. Shoto would form a big-ass sledgehammer as he would come across Bakugo's head with it, knocking his shit. As he would do this to the other 5 goons that Bakugo had, as, Izuku would just be sitting down cheering, saying, Woo, let's go, bro. Good shit. MVP. You're a different breed out here. As after they were done, or after Shoto was done, they would see Endeavor just sitting there, waiting, watching, looking goofy as shit. As he'd be smiling, saying that his son just beat up like 6 kids. As Izuku and Shoto would hop in the car, as Endeavor would say, Are you guys ready for training? As Deku would just groan. Same with, Shoto, saying that they couldn't really get out of this. Or Izuku could, but he didn't want to leave his brother. As this is when fucking Endeavor would drive them home, and this is where an incident would happen. An incident with Rei Todoroki. Izuku, would walk into the kitchen as his mother would be on the phone. She would be chopping up onions, preparing dinner. As Izuku, would say, Hey mom, what are you up to? But there was something off with her. It was like an ominous presence all around her. Her aura was completely off. Deku would step back a little bit as he'd say, Mom, are you alright? But she wasn't. She would take the knife, or Rei would take the knife, as she would look at Izuku with hate in her eyes, as she would rush at him, stabbing Izuku in the shoulder. Shoto would see this, as Deku would take the stab, but he knew what he would have to do. When Shoto went to go get Endeavor, Endeavor came back to a bloody mess. Izuku had sent a powerful pulse of electricity to his mother's body, killing her on touch. Her body would explode and Deku was covered in blood. But guys, I'm going to be leaving it off here because I'm tired and I need to go to sleep. But yeah. Oh, and by the way, this is only a filler what if. There will be more what ifs coming. Promise. Bye.